when I was 20 years old, we were taking meetings in New York with labels, and they're like, she has a great voice, but if she sang about this, subject matter and wore these clothes or wore less clothes, we think that she can really be successful. So they just try to define you in certain ways. And I won't say that's what the industry is always like, but there's a lot of that. So you just have to really stay true to who you are.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Assyrian Podcast. This is Ninorta, your co-host from Arizona, and I am so thrilled to bring you episode 64 with the very talented Yasmeen. Yasmeen is a rising singer and songwriter from Los Angeles. Her impressive lyrics and powerful vocal range have put her on the spotlight. She has released singles like Half of Me, which have reached over 2 million streams on Spotify, and even Neo posted a video of her which reached over 500,000 views. Yasmeen stands for authenticity and not losing yourself to reach your goals, and we get to touch on that during the interview. We also get to hear Yasmeen sing, which was a great treat. Lastly, support for this podcast comes from Tony Kalogerakos and the injury lawyers of Illinois and New York. If you know anyone that's been in a serious accident, please reach out to Tony Kalogerakos. Tony has been recognized as a top 40 lawyer and a rising star by Super Lawyers publication, and has obtained multiple multi-million-dollar awards. Tony can be reached at injuryrights.com or at 847-982-9516. And now, here's Yasmeen. Yasmeen, you're a professional musician. You started off in Detroit and then moved to Phoenix, and now you're living in Los Angeles to pursue your music career. What made you decide that you wanted to sing professionally?
So I feel like I can definitely give off that cliche answer.
Okay, go for it.
It's something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was little. It was just what I've dreamt about my whole entire life, right? And I think once I graduated high school, that was kind of that's when you step into the real world. Right?
Yeah,
and
that's when it gets real.
Yeah, and you just ask yourself questions like, what do I want to do every single day of my life?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when everything just pointed back towards music. This is what I dreamt about, and this is what I want to pursue. And it's gonna be hard, but yeah, it was those questions that I would constantly ask, can you really wake up every day doing what you don't love to do? And yeah, that's just when I really realized it.
And a lot of people do that. They wake up and they're like, oh God, and here we go again.
Here we go, another day,
But you're doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Trying to, we'll get there, guys.
You will get there. You recently released a new single.
Yeah.
One More Drink is the name of it. It's so catchy.
Thanks.
I love the song, and it's getting a lot of social media hype. When can we expect an album to be released?
Man, an album. So before I moved to LA, I completed a full album, and that was a nice long process. But I feel like the industry right now is such a singles game, and the way I chose my route is I want to gain as much leverage as I can on my own. And in order to do that, you kind of just have to build everything on your own. And by going that route, I've been just releasing singles at a time. And
wow.
I won't be fully ready to release my album until I'm happy with the platform that I have.
Yeah.
So as of now, I don't have a date, but
wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So now the industry has shifted to just releasing singles.
I would
more than releasing a full album and then.
Yeah, I feel like a full album is good when you have that platform, when
True.
You have an audience listening. And I wouldn't want to release a full length until I know that audience is listening.
Yeah. Absolutely. But your social media and Spotify have been blowing up this past year with all the support and the downloads, especially with the song Half of Me. How does that feel to have reached close to 1 million streams on Spotify?
So actually tomorrow, I just saw that tomorrow morning it will have reached 1 million.
Wow.
1 million plays, yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
Congratulations.
We're having this moment right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really amazing.
It's been so crazy because this is my first song to reach 1 million plays on Spotify, and it's just so huge. It's like, wow, like your hard work's, it's paying off.
Yes.
You know, and like, it's just no words for that. It's so cool how like something can start in a studio out here in Arizona, and then now it's like speaking to the whole entire world.
1 million people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is so really cool. Amazing. Has growing up in an Assyrian household been difficult with your career choice?
It has not, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know. So before my dad got married, he was trying to pursue a career in music as well.
Wow, so it runs in the family.
It runs in the family. And my uncle was pursuing a career in like the R&B world.
Mm-hmm.
His voice is awesome. It's great. Both my dad and my uncle. I feel like everyone in my family could sing, but yeah, they're both trying to pursue careers. So they have an understanding of that passion and of chasing that dream. So they're so supportive.
That's great.
Yeah, I feel like I can't imagine what it would have been like if they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's already a hard enough industry. So not.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So having their support just makes it so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
We always hear how hard it is to make it in the entertainment industry. Walk us through what your journey has been like.
Funny, I feel like I kind of talk about that in my song Made to Win.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you that next. I felt like those two questions were very...
Yeah, they kind of all correlate and tie it together. But the industry is really interesting. You know, I feel like the end goal of a lot of things in the industry boils down to money. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what can we do with this artist to make the most amount of money?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they'll just look at you as a product of that. Like, when I was 20 years old, we were taking meetings in New York with labels, and they're like, she has a great voice, but if she sang about this, subject matter and wore these clothes or wore less clothes, we think that she can really be successful. So they just like try to define you in certain ways. And I won't say that's what the industry is always like, but there's a lot of that. So you just have to really stay true to who you are.
And that's why you wrote the song Made to Win.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So our listeners can hear that song and kind of the lyrics come from your own experience with that.
Definitely portrays that journey.
Have there been moments where you've wanted to quit?
Yeah, I think that's normal though.
Mm-hmm.
When you're chasing something, regardless of what industry you're in, face a lot of obstacles, and you're like, it's normal to be like, is this worth it? I just don't want to do this anymore. And so yeah, there's definitely been moments like that, but you kind of snap out of that. You're like, okay, that's just a very short-lived thought, Yeah, there's definitely been moments that I wanted to quit, but it's okay to go through that, I think.
Yeah, what made you want to keep going on?
When you remind yourself that this is what you love to do, this is what like brings your soul to life. And, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What does being such a successful Assyrian mean to you, and how does that push you to work harder?
I look at my family and my parents, they practically, and I feel like you can relate to this also, our families basically escaped a war, to come here, and even to go deeper, they escaped a genocide, and it's like, I have no freaking excuse. Like, they came here with nothing, and to be able to create what they've created and to take care of us, that inspires me so much and pushes me harder, and I feel like that's kind of like the definition of success, is being able to take care of your family by doing what you love to do. Like, what more could you ever want?
Yeah.
I think that's so important. Waking up to doing what you love and being able to take care of your family like that.
And I think we take it for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
And our parents have done a lot to get us here.
Oh yeah, and sometimes when I'm like complaining, I'm like, okay, no. Don't do it. I have no reason to complain. Yeah. So
your song, you had a single called "Selfish." I absolutely loved this song. In Chicago, we had an open mic night, and I was dying for somebody to do that cover
of
Selfish, but
Awesome.
I don't have a voice, so I couldn't sing the song, but we weren't able to get anybody to do it either. But the music, the production, the lyrics, everything is just amazing in that song.
Thank
and you wear a jacket in the music video with the Arabic letter Noon on it. What made you want to wear that, and why was that important to you?
My biggest reason was, well, two big reasons, was to represent my faith, one, and to bring awareness to what's happening. You know, right now my platform may be small, but to go deeper and beyond my passion and love for music, the biggest thing that I'm most excited about is having a platform that can be reached, you know, that can reach millions. And I feel like that responsibility is just so crucial and so important. And that's just what I can't wait to use my platform for, is to be a voice for the voiceless, the powerless. So that's
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's just what I can't wait for that. And that's,
you're already doing that.
I hope.
You've spoken on a lot of the different panels at the Assyrian conventions, and each of us has a message that we hope to communicate with the world. What's your message?
I feel like there's so much that I can't wait to say and speak about, but my current message right now is, just because this is something that's been heavy on my heart, and I've been thinking about it a lot, is that, you know, we're human, and that's something that we need to be okay with. Like, we tend to strive for perfection a lot, and that in a sense kind of just sets us up for disappointment, because we're not perfect. We never will be. And, you know, my message would be to embrace your mistakes and embrace, like, the rejection, because essentially that really defines your character. And, you know, it's going to teach you a lot about what you want in life and who you are and who you want to be with, and so on and so forth. So I think that's my message, is to embrace being human and all the mistakes and struggles that it comes with.
Yeah. Which song has been your favorite that you've either written or performed?
Right now, I want to say Made to Win. I love performing that song, especially towards the end, because I try to get everyone to sing along with it, so it's so cool.
Yeah, I've seen that video where you're performing and then everybody else, you're like, come on, sing along.
Yeah, it's so cool when everyone's just like yelling out, "We were made to win." Like, it gives you chills, because you're like, yeah, you are, everyone.
Yeah. Can you sing us a snippet of that song?
Yeah. Darling, don't you cry when they look you in the eyes and tell you you can fly. They'll beat you with the lies. They're scared to see you win when it doesn't benefit them. But we were made to win. We were made to win. We were made to win. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that was amazing. I have goosebumps.
Thank you.
Your voice is amazing. That was beautiful. Can you tell us who inspires you?
Growing up, Lauryn Hill was like a huge inspiration. She, you know, the way that she used her platform, and she spoke about things that were taboo and that nobody wants to talk about, and she just used her music to just say what was on her mind and her heart, and I just love that so much. And as a vocalist, as a songwriter, she just inspired me. And I'm very inspired by songwriters, because I think it's such an art to be able to like articulate a message or words, you know, through a song.
Yeah.
So I love songwriters. Like Ed Sheeran's amazing. Even Taylor Swift's incredible.
I know, I love her. A lot of people don't like her, but I love her.
Like, her songwriting is just, it's genius. It's
it
awesome.
is.
Yeah. So I love songwriters.
Great. And do you write most of your songs?
Yes. I'm definitely a part of all my songs. And
That's great.
yeah, thank you.
And you're a twin. How has that helped shape you growing up?
You know, growing up, we actually did not get along. We fought.
You didn't?
Yeah, we fought a lot. But then, you know, we grew out of those stages. And now it's just like the greatest thing ever, because literally he's the one person that has been through everything with me, and vice versa. And, you know, we can sit back and laugh about our childhood, or, you know, I go to him for everything. and it's just easy because it's like, it's my brother, and I feel like I'll never have that with anyone else. So it's so incredible to just have that support system and that person that you can go to. Yeah, he's awesome.
You had gone on a mission trip to Haiti.
Yeah.
That must have been an amazing experience.
Yeah, incredible.
What did you take away from that trip?
It was such an eye-opening experience. I think that was my first time really leaving the United States. And so for the first trip to leave the U.S. and to go to a third world country, and you're just like, this is really happening right now in our day and age. Literally, like, and this was right after the hurricane that had happened. So it was just completely devastating to see people were literally sleeping on rocks and mountains and like just had nothing. Wow. And it just opened up my mind and kind of like took me out of the bubble that I was in, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of problems out in our world, outside of our world. And it just really taught me a lot about that. And now it's just that's just something that's always on my heart, is to like want to help and find ways to help if I can. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you have any plans to go to Assyria one day and perform there?
Yes, of course. That'd be a dream. I can't wait for that day. Hopefully in the very near future.
Do you have any plans of creating a song about Assyrians?
I've written a couple that I've never released or anything. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. I think it would be so awesome. Once I perfect it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be where I want.
Great.
Yeah.
I was recently listening to a song by Mercy Me, and the song is called Dear Younger Me, where he's writing a letter to his younger self and telling him what he would tell himself when he was younger. What would you write in your letter to the younger version of yourself?
I feel like it kind of going based off of basically going off of what my message would be. It would be that it's okay, to go through life and to face mistakes and obstacles, because it's gonna happen no matter what. That's something you can't run away from. And yeah, that would be my reminder to my little self. Like, don't be afraid of those moments, and don't run away from them, because they will teach you a lot. Yeah. I
kind of want to go back to where you were talking about how with the industry and when you meet a producer or a label and they tell you, change this, do that.
Yeah.
Can you kind of go into detail about what they asked you to do and where you kind of said, you know what, no, I'm not doing that?
Yeah. So there was one meeting in particular in New York, and they were basically like, wear less clothes. That was like their thing. Like, dress this way, have this image, and then, we'll kind of spice up her songs. Like, I was 20 years old, so, singing a little more provocatively and about, that type of subject matter. And that's when I was just like, what? First of all, yeah, there's no way I could, that's not the artist that I am. And, nothing against artists that are like that. That's that's their path. We all have different paths. And I feel like for me, it was like definitely a wake up call and a realization. Because that was kind of when I started to get into the industry. And when I saw that, that's when I'm like, well, it's time for me to truly develop and think about who I am and really stick to those core values. And I hope that answered your question.
It did, yeah. Because I can imagine it can be very difficult because you want that big break.
Yeah.
You're so desperate for that big break, and then...
Exactly, and you kind of like battle those thoughts, like, well, this could really get me to where I want to be. But, I definitely chose the longer path, the longer route, and that's kind of what Made to Win's about. No matter what people say or how they try to shape you, stick to who you are. Because if you go the route that you don't want to go to, then you're kind of stuck now. Like, if I were to become that artist, I would probably have to live the rest of my career being that person, being someone that I'm not. And then what good does that do for me? Now I'm living a life that I don't want to lead and be a person that I don't want to be. And it's like I might as well taken a job that I didn't want to take, you know? So, yeah, I think if you stay persistent to who you want to be and what you want to do in life, that with persistency and determination, like you have to win. You will make it. I think that's so important, very important.
And that's what makes you a unique artist. And you have the backing, you have the support from your listeners, from all the Assyrians, so keep doing what you're doing.